private eye.
Come on, put your feet up and unwind with Johnny on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and his guests Pat Sajak and Jay Leno. Then ease into the night laughing on Late Night with David Letterman and Dave's guests Jim Belushi and Van Halen's Sammy Hagar, plus stupid human tricks. After that, it's rock and roll according to comedian Jackie Mason on Friday Night Videos with new music videos from Huey Lewis and Smokey Robinson. Don't miss it.
Coming up next here on the Channel 5 News at 10, a 5-year-old mystery surrounding the disappearance of Carol Papis may be solved tonight. We'll hear from her husband, former Cub great Milt Papis. Another pit bull incident has left a veterinary technician with injuries and some questions about city procedures. Norman Mark will take us all back to the beach. It is movie review tonight. John Coleman has a forecast for some rain tomorrow. Mark Goldberg has the latest on Steve Fuller's injury coming up right here on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Porsche builds cars is a lot like the way we brew Lowenbrau, with rich German heritage and special attention to detail. Both set the standard around the world and here in America. Perhaps that's why the Lowenbrau Special Racing Porsche 962 has won the International Road Racing Championship 2 years in a row and going for 3 at Road America, August 16th.
Harry Carey with a Harry Carry-On double play. Now from Pizza Hut. 2 regular pan pizzas, $10.99 only in Chicagoland. And just $1.29 per topping covers both pizzas. Hey, the Harry Carry-On double play at Pizza Hut, just $10.99. Holy cow! Doubles go a long way in this ballpark. Ready, on one. On two. Pizza Hut, pizza to go.
Junction Boulevard backed up 5-6 blocks and rubbernecking delays have traffic backed out about half.
Contrary to popular belief, there are millions of miles of roads totally unfettered by traffic. And one car that will inspire you to get up earlier to find them. The new BMW 325i. With 39% more power than its predecessor, it has the singular ability to bring a whole new meaning to the expression, rush hour. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your Chicago area BMW dealers.
Jay Leno joins Johnny tonight at 10:30.
Live on Channel 5, this is the 10 o'clock news with Ron Majors and Carol Marine, John Coleman with weather, and Mark G. and Greco with sports. The Channel 5 news at 10.
Good evening. Carol's got the night off. And tonight, a 5-year-old mystery may be solved. Authorities are trying to determine whether a body found in a car in a Wheaton retention pond is that of Carol Papis, the wife of former Cubs player Milt Papis. She's been missing for 5 years now. Channel 5's Derek Blakely reports.
For 5 long years, Wheaton police intensively searched the western suburbs and beyond for this car, the car Carol Papis was driving the day she disappeared. Today, the search ended where it began, in Wheaton, at the bottom of a pond, next door to a fire station, just a few blocks away from the Papis home.
It just puzzles the living hell out of me that it was 4 blocks away from the house. And I didn't even know, and I've lived here for 17 years, I didn't even know there was a retention pond there.
Carol Papis left home for the last time on September 11th, 1982, setting out on a series of routine errands. She was last seen at Marshall Fields in the Stratford Square Mall. For the former Cubs pitcher, today's discovery brought both sadness and relief.
It is a relief that we have found Carol in the car, and for 5 years of agonizing, not knowing what's happened, and everything goes through your mind, whether it's foul play, whether it's accident or ran away. Just ran away. I mean, there's just so many things that go in your mind constantly and never stop until there is an answer.
The pond was being drained as part of a restoration project. The car discovered entirely by accident. License plates quickly showed that the car belonged to Carol Papis, but confirming the identity of the body inside may not be so easy.
It's very difficult to determine the sex of the body, or it's impossible for me to determine the sex of the body. And parts of the body have deteriorated.
Tonight, the car is locked away in a city garage, but the license plates and the jewelry found inside point to only one conclusion. Wheaton police are all but certain that the body inside the car is that of Carol Papis. The final proof could come as early as Sunday, when the coroner's autopsy is expected to be completed. From Wheaton, Derek Blakely, Channel 5 News.
Of course, among the hoped-for results of that autopsy will be whether foul play was involved in this. A 2-year-old girl was struck and killed by a CTA bus on the south side tonight. The accident occurred at a little after 6 o'clock this evening at 131st and Langley Avenue near the Altgeld Gardens housing project. CTA officials say a number 34 South Michigan Avenue bus struck the girl. Has not yet been fully identified. The girl was pronounced dead at Roseland Community Hospital about 15 minutes after the accident, and police are still investigating. There is a peace agreement tonight for Central America, but it's not the one the Reagan administration wants. The presidents of 5 Central American countries agreed to their own regional peace plan to end the years of civil war in Nicaragua and El Salvador. The plan calls for a ceasefire in 90 days and free elections after that. Contra leaders say they welcome the peace agreement, but also say unless they're part of the negotiations, they would just have to keep right on fighting.
We don't have any confidence in the Sandinistas. They have been masters of deceit and manipulation.
Under this peace proposal, the U.S.-backed Contras would lose their base of operations in Honduras. There was a lot of noise, frenzy, and chaos on the streets of Iran today, but behind all the emotion was also some moderate talk from Iranian leaders. Angry crowds carried the bodies of 62 of the pilgrims killed in Mecca last week through the streets of Tehran while shouting, "Death to America." And the Revolutionary Guard completed the naval exercises in the Persian Gulf. But the Iranian government is giving out some hints that it wants some kind of accommodation in the Gulf with its neighbors. Iran said today it would stop attacking shipping in the Gulf if Iraq would quit bombing Iran. Yesterday, we reported a pit bull terrier was destroyed after biting a boy. Tonight, we have another attack to report. A pit bull was being held at the Animal Control Center because it had already bitten one person. The owner sent someone else to pick up the dog. That is something the control center usually does not allow. The owner has to pick up the animal. When the veterinary technician went in to get the dog, she was attacked.
He went through 2 nerves on the medial side of the index finger, which I have no feeling in anymore, and I can't really move it, that much. But it was real deep, and you could see the tendons and all the nerves and stuff.
The veterinary technician will undergo further examination next week to see if there was any nerve damage from that attack. Promises made, promises seemingly kept. That seems to be the strategy of federal officials trying to win the hearts and minds of Chicago Housing Authority tenants. Earlier this week, HUD Regional Director Gertrude Jordan promised she'd check out problems at the Ida B. Wells homes. Well, today residents saw HUD inspectors show up for a tour of the complex. Residents pointed out some of the problems they have to live with.
Since I've been here, my head has been busted. My son done almost been killed.
The tenants are hoping that HUD will release some money to fix up that housing complex. A 2-year-old boy remains in critical condition tonight after falling out of a window from a CHA building.
I went to touch his feet. He did that. And I knew life was there. Then I ran away to try to get some more help.
Andrew Kim fell from the 10th floor window of this senior citizens housing complex in the 4600 block of North Sheridan. Kim was the 3rd child this week to fall from an apartment building window. 2 of those incidents took place at CHA buildings, such as these Robert Taylor homes, where open windows with missing screens always present a danger. Authorities are investigating the possibility the child was staying in an unlicensed child care facility in that building. The 10th annual Pan American Games start this weekend in Indianapolis. As Channel 5's Ray Suarez reports, there are a few problems still being worked out.
Over who should run Cuba came to Indiana today when a news conference
calling on their country's team to defect got an angry response from members of that entourage. Politics and bad blood were set aside today by one of Nicaragua's top play-by-play men, who says the political differences
won't matter in the
sport.
Nosotros en cualquier competencia donde hemos estado, en cualquier parte del mundo.
In any competition or in any sport. Indianapolis, for now, is a...
And comes in 2 languages, including news.
As U.S. basketball coach Denny Crum...
Press, his words are instantly fed in Espanol.
Spanish-speaking journalists. Right up until this evening,
At the Pan American Village to receive their official...
And that's become a bit of a problem. So many athletes and coaches have come, only confirm
that the village can't handle.
So American athletes will have to sacrifice their spots. Just as police are everywhere, so are emblems on everything. And this little mascot, Amigo. There are souvenirs to fit every taste, or the lack of it. No Pan American Games experience would be complete without one of these things. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm told for $5 you can have one of these. It's made out of the same wood as a basketball court.
In Indianapolis, Ray Suarez, Channel 5 News.
Sunday, and they continue through all.
Still to come, Dr. Barry Kaufman.
Researchers are hoping will help those suffering from Alzheimer's. We'll be back in a moment.
5 News is being sponsored in part by Amoco Oil.
Replace those tie rods. Okay, check the bushings and the sway bars, too. See all the you need? That's it. Great, I'll get you a bill. How those brakes look? Oh, they're bad all the way. Put new ones on. Check those rotors, too. We're going to have to replace this. No problem, sir. We just finished it.
Amoco. If you know us, you already know a good mechanic. At Certicare.
You're all set.
Certicare at Amoco. Your car knows.
Here you are, John. Thanks, Doc. This piece of paper is a prescription for new glasses. The first step in iLab's glasses fast, glasses right promise. Now comes the really fast part.
The lab's right here with specially trained technicians and all the latest equipment. iLab can make glasses accurately in an hour. You can watch if you want.
The new me. That fast.
iLab. Glasses fast, glasses right. Now open in Matson and Naperville.
Now this is my kind of ice cream. Real smooth, you know? You'll never catch me eating any of that frozen yogurt.
Surprise, it's Yoplait. New Yoplait soft frozen yogurt.
Not ice cream. Ice cream. Say ice cream. Ice cream. You got it right.
Surprise, it's Yoplait. New Yoplait soft frozen yogurt.
The winds of change are blowing at today's Chevrolet 88 Corsica. A new front-wheel drive sports sedan engineered to exacting standards and designed to give you years of trouble-free driving. All wrapped in the smoothest Chevrolet sedan ever built. Corsica.
That's today's Chevrolet.
All in favor of wearing safety belts, raise your hand.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
THA, the initials for a drug that's been helping some Alzheimer's patients, a drug that will soon be tested here in Chicago. Dr. Barry Kaufman joins us to report on how much help this drug is expected to give.
Ron, right now there is no treatment for Alzheimer's disease. It's an incurable disorder which always kills and which is gradually robbing 2.5 million, mostly older Americans, of their memory, thought, and speech.
As with this man, Alzheimer's disease ultimately takes away the ability to care for oneself. One of the reasons for the progressively worsening symptoms is a lack of a special chemical in the brain which helps transmit the signals for thinking and remembering. THA is an experimental drug which prevents the breakdown of this chemical. In theory, this should relieve some of the devastating Alzheimer's symptoms. But it is not expected THA will stop or reverse the deterioration which eventually destroys the brain.
The expanded nationwide THA testing program was prompted by a controversial study published in this New England Journal of Medicine last November. In it, a California psychiatrist reported the results of a year-long study in which 16 of 17 patients seemed to show at least some improvement, while 10 of these showed dramatic improvement when given mental,
intelligence, and personality tests. A number of letters to the journal disputed the methods and conclusions of the California study. Now, 17 centers are enrolling approximately 300 patients to answer the criticism and assess which, if any, patients might benefit. Only those with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease are being accepted. Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center here in Chicago is one of the test sites. Its 18 spaces are already filled. It's anticipated some people may drop out, so a few slots may open. Neurologist Dr. Jacob Fox heads the Rush portion of the study.
As far as my own personal expectation, I would have to say I'm an agnostic. I honestly don't know whether it's going to work or not. I hope, against hope, that it will. There's some preliminary reason to think that it might. It's possible that it won't.
Dr. Fox says if THA turns out to be, as he puts it, the penicillin for Alzheimer's disease, that would be obvious within the first 6 months. More likely, he says, it will take the 2 years the study is set to run to assess if the drug is safe and effective and for which Alzheimer's patients it might work best. And there are still some openings at the second Illinois test site. That's at Southern Illinois University Medical School in Springfield. And Ron, again, at best, it's not a cure.
Good. Thanks, Barry. John Coleman's up next with a rainy Saturday forecast. But first, Norman Mark takes us on a trip back to the beach. Annette and Frankie are back in a new movie. Stay tuned.
If you were your car, you'd go to the CarX Brake Bonanza, a $49.95 brake job with a lifetime guarantee at CarX right now.
Old John M. Smith could never figure out why some people would go to an expensive store for a mattress when they get the same brands and the same factory wrap at homemakers' prices. Got all the top brands, Simmons, Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and locations. Look, now there are 9 homemaker sleep shops throughout Chicagoland. What, pick up your old mattress? I'm sorry, most stores won't do that, but mine will. How are we doing, Mr. Smith?
John M. Smith's Homemakers.
A prominent toy company relied on the phone to sell overseas. One Miss Pamela Taft, however, phoned more often to share her playful personality, making better friends of her international clients and better deals with her friends.
A sales record, her boss said she's talking to Australia, but off some of her cake.
From equipment to networking, from computers to communications, AT&T is the right choice.
There's a new #1 in town, your local Ford dealer. Thanks to you, Ford products are now the top-selling cars and trucks in the Chicago area. It's no surprise. We got there with the best-built American cars and trucks. We got there with terrific financing programs, cash back, and option packages that together can save you thousands of dollars, all backed by a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. In short, value. Quality products from quality people. Your local Ford dealer, #1 to stay.
I could have bought my fur anywhere, but Mizell's has been in the business 70 years. They know furs.
I could have bought my fur anywhere, but for selection and price, I went to Mizell's.
I could have bought my fur anywhere, but for terrific service and a 5-year guarantee, it's Mizell's.
For special savings and no payment till 1988, come to Mizell's August Fur Sale.
It's been, can it be? Yes, it's been 20 years since Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon made all those beach movies. Entertainment reporter Norman Mark is here to tell us they're back.
They're back, and they're great together again. They are creating one of the biggest hits of their summer movie series ever. You know, those old-time beach movies are really just dumb fun. Now with Back to the Beach, which opened tonight, they made the dumbest beach movie of all time, and the best.
This is our house in Ohio, and this is my mom now. She's still the most cheerful person on earth, although she did develop this one little quirk.
Annette Funicello is pushing peanut butter. Frankie Avalon, as Annette's husband, is an uptight used car salesman in Ohio. They go on vacation, return to their old beach and old plots, and meet old friends like Connie Stevens.
You look great, too. Not this great, but great. But I try to take care of myself. I eat right, and I get plenty of rest.
Of course you do.
Because you're boring.
One of the joys of the film is the cameo appearances of people like Pee Wee Herman, who sings and then disappears. And it has terrific scenes like this one. Annette is angry at Frankie, so she decides to give him away to Connie.
He's talking about you. This guy loves you so much. And if I were a goody two-shoes like you, I would get my ass over there and get that guy. You know, I've always sort of wanted to be the bad girl. Impossible. But I'll tell you something. You sure have wasted an incredible pair of hooters.
Well, what a surprise. What a joy the movie is. The best, the ultimate beach movie, which is fun because it knows about and kids every other beach film ever made. Norman's Mark, 4 stars for this one. Go to Back to the Beach because the surf's up again better than ever. Annette, as you saw, looks great. And Frankie finally admits that he looks like an Italian loan shark on a surfboard. It's a funny
Now,
movie.
assure me that it's not the recent heat wave that's got you liking this beach movie.
No, it's a funny movie, I tell you. Well, maybe it is the heat, you know. You get in the mood for it.
And Madonna's new movie is out, which was not previewed for critics.
No, Who's That Girl was not shown to the critics at all, and there's a good reason. I'll review it this weekend, and it's...
All right, good. Earlier this week, we told you about Jim Dixon, the blind sailor who set out to cross the Atlantic in a 36-foot sailboat. Well, Dixon had to turn back today. That computer voice navigation equipment failed. It'll take him about 3 days to get back to Nantucket. Then, he says, he'll get the equipment fixed. He'll head out again, and we'll let you know. John Coleman has got a kind of a rainy forecast in store for us, and tomorrow's a big day. About 200,000 people are expected to show up for the Bud Billiken Parade.
We hope that the light showers will end about parade time and the heavy storms won't begin till after the parade. Did you hear me say hope? Yeah, it wasn't a guarantee or a promise. For sure, there's going to be the rainiest day of the summer tomorrow here in Chicago, but there will be breaks, and we hope one of them's on the south side during the parade hours. It'll make it a lot more fun. But we'll all show up anyway. Low 62 Saturday and a high of 80 with 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, locally heavy, perhaps some strong and severe storms, and a few dry hours scattered here and there. Cooler near the lake on fairly brisk northeast winds, 10 to 16 and turning gusty as the storms develop. At 10 o'clock on Friday night, it is 77 degrees, humidity 71%, a northeast breeze at 6. We were to 91 degrees at O'Hare Field on Friday, our 31st day of 90-degree plus temperatures. And here are the clouds stretching clear across the Midwest with very heavy storms coming across parts of Nebraska into southern Iowa, where flood watches are in effect, and lighter showers extending out into northern Illinois. Everything's moving eastward at about 30 miles an hour, and it's going to take all day Saturday to get through this rather intense late summer storm system. The big rains have hit all around us all summer. I guess it's our turn. Spots in Nebraska have had 3.5 inches of rain. Back into Utah, they've had up to ½ foot of rain. Few spots have hail that deep on the ground. Our future sats, generated by the computer, show the heavy clouds over us tomorrow morning. Now the good news. By Sunday morning, the storm's energy will be going eastward. The front will be pushing southward. Skies will be clearing in Chicago. Look at my weather maps. You get the idea. Here comes the storm center across the Mississippi tomorrow morning, and the rain should be underway in Chicago when you wake up. And by tomorrow evening, the heaviest should be here. So Saturday night could be kind of slushy. But after those storms depart, then the clearing takes place. Today's high temperatures include 106 at Phoenix. That's getting there. Tomorrow I'm predicting 70s. Doesn't that sound pleasant? From here northward through Wisconsin and Michigan. And by the time you get to northern Wisconsin, it'll actually be sunny. Saturday, 80, rain. Sunday, sunny and 80. Monday, I'm predicting 78 with a lake breeze. That sounds like a pretty good day till the thunder shower. Also a thunder shower Tuesday and a thunder shower Wednesday. It's about time we have a wet spell. It's been a fairly dry summer. My weekend weather maps show that you have to go up several hundred miles either north or south, and it's almost impossible east or west to get out of the rain. And Sunday, the whole thing breaks. Thank goodness, Ron. Have a nice weekend despite it all.
We're agreed. We're going to show up for the Bud Billiken Parade anyway.
A weatherman and a parade in the rain.
I'll be there, yes, John. Come on. Mark Goldberg's got an update on Steve Fuller's shoulder injury.
Yeah, well, Ron, these are the kind of stories we really don't like to talk about, but we have to. Is the career over? It's possible. We'll be back.
At Meineke,
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler, and it better be quality.
you're not going to pay a lot. Our quality Everlast mufflers are priced from just $18.93 installed.
At Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet, our best advertisement appears on cars driven by over 100,000 satisfied customers.
Our name is your guarantee of the largest selection of new Chevrolet cars and trucks anywhere.
And we promise the very best price on whatever you choose or we'll give you back the difference in cash.
So for the best price and best selection, make sure your next car carries the Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet name. In Elmhurst at York and Roosevelt Roads, where you always save more money.
What's new at Jewel this week? The best in name brand bargains. Top off a summer salad with select varieties of Wishbone light dressings. An 8-ounce bottle is just 79 cents. Summer parties call for frozen Bacardi mixers. Assorted flavors are only 89 cents a 6-ounce can. And save on Minute Maid fruit punch, grapeade, or country pink or regular lemonade. Just 99 cents a half gallon. For name brand bargains.
Take a new look at an old friend, Jewel.
The Highland 2-day sale. This Friday and Saturday, every Highland Superstore will look like this. Because during Highland's 2-day sale, there'll be incredible bargains on many items in every store. Friday and Saturday, this portable 13-inch color TV with automatic color control is just $126. Highland's 2-day sale. You've got 2 whole days to save, but you better hurry, because when prices are this low, time flies.
When I go shopping for a car, I don't want sweet talk. I want sweet deals. I work hard for my money, just like you. That's why an 87 Escort for $129 a month with $500 down is for everyone. O'Connor Ford has a great reputation, and all their 87 cars have a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. Others talk price, selection, financing, and service, but only O'Connor delivers.
If anyone can, O'Connor can.
O'Connor Ford, 2600 West 95th.
Mark Giangreco is off. Mark Goldberg is with us. I know Fuller's shoulder has got to hurt, but his heart's got to be breaking.
Oh, absolutely. This is not good news for Steve Fuller at all. His shoulder injury appears to be much worse than anyone thought. As Mark Giangreco tells us now from Platteville, Fuller's career may be over.
Steve Fuller must now spend the next 3 to 4 weeks doing absolutely nothing at all in order to rest his re-injured shoulder, or have surgery, or maybe even both.
Medically, it puts him, his season right now looks very bleak in the National Football League.
To have to do nothing for 3 or 4 weeks, that puts him out of the quarterback derby.
I would say that it really hurts him. It really does. It's just unfortunate. Steve is such a fine young man. I mean, you talk about outstanding people and character and all the things that you really like in people, and it's just going to put him so far behind. I don't know what's going to happen.
While Fuller's career will likely be cut short by this latest injury, he's certainly not short on friends.
I don't like to see friends get hurt or something happen to them, and I just like to see him back healthy.
I know he didn't want to go out this way. If it has to have an end result of not having him this year, I know Steve will be very upset along with a lot of guys on the team.
It's unfortunate that in this game, one man's loss is
another man's gain, and unfortunately, a lot of people really thrive on that stuff. And, you know, it's a chance for us to get a few more snaps, like I said, but, you know, you're also concerned for Steve Fuller.
With the Bears in Platteville, Mark Giangreco, Channel 5 Sports.
Well, Steve Fuller certainly had his ups and downs since becoming a Bear, the 1984 divisional playoff game here with Washington being one of the ups. Today in Platteville, he faced the music when he faced the cameras.
Considering we have 5 guys for 3 spots right now, you know, it's ideally you'd want to come in, and I worked all off-season, as you guys well know, to get to the point where I can come in here to compete, thinking that, you know, if things didn't work out here, you get a chance to play somewhere else, but that doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
All right, the Cubs sent Rick Sutcliffe to the mound to try and stop the New York Express, known as the Mets, who were just 4.5 games back of the Cardinals with a 15-6 record since the All-Star break, but Big Red couldn't do it. We go to the action tonight in the bottom of the second. No score. Howard, don't check my bat again. Johnson takes Sutcliffe past first to the right field corner. Gary Carter was running off of first base. He would score all the way. Johnson goes in with a triple. That made it 1-0, and it opened up the floodgates. They got 2 more in the 5th, and then Carter ripped his 5th home run in the last 10 games off Eddie Lynch. The Mets win this one easily, 7-1. Meanwhile, at Comiskey tonight, bottom of the 7th, tied at 3-3 when Ivan Calderon skied to left. Harold Baines is on third, makes the tag, and comes home ever so slightly. 4-3 Sox. But in the 8th inning, Rob Deere ripped one off the foul pole for his 2nd home run of the game to tie it up at 4-4. The Brewers have just picked up 3 in the 10th. They go to the bottom of the 10th, 7-4 Milwaukee. Elsewhere, Minnesota beats Oakland 9-4. Detroit shuts out New York. Toronto now in first place after beating Cleveland. Baltimore 9-2 over Texas. Boston 4-3 over Kansas City. Back in the National League where the Mets win, and Philadelphia beats the Cardinals. Mets now just 3.5 back. Pittsburgh 9-3 over Montreal.
currently getting a new trial. A federal appeals court of racketeering. His lawyer hopes to have him out of federal prison within 10 days. Meanwhile, in golf at the PGA Championship today, two-time winner Raymond Floyd just missed a birdie here, but did shoot a 2-under par 70. He has a share of the lead at 4-under par after 36 holes, shares it with this man. Lanny Watkins also a 70 today. He's at 4-under 140. Brother Bobby had a shot of the day, though, from bunker to the cup for an eagle. But he finished bogey, and he trails by 2 shots at 2-under par.
You know well the story of the Emery board, the
Yes,
Joe Niekro story. Joe Niekro the other day pitching for the Minnesota Twins. Umpire says, I'm going to search your glove. You're scuffing the ball. What's in your pocket? Nothing. Oops, what's that flew out of there? Why, that was an Emery board. That's what that was. It was an Emery board. So they're threatening to suspend him.
What is that?
I was in Minneapolis yesterday. Look at this. Say it ain't so, Joe. The Niekro file with the date. Who's giving it away? Emery Express. Now, there's a great idea, isn't it? That's the news this Friday. Good night.
And he won tonight.
Thoroughbred excitement in the park.
Arlington Park. Post time, 1:30. Saturday, August 8th. Get this 34-ounce Arlington Park thermos free.
Because all value must start with quality, Wick's Home Sale proudly presents a living room full of values from Broyhill.
Starring this lovely attached back sofa at just $599.98,
A savings of $200. And this Raleigh Road bedroom, majestically traditional. All 4 pieces only $1399.98,
a savings of $400 with no payments or finance charges till November
with a Wick's charge.
Wick's, surprisingly Wick's. If you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Pontiac Motor Division to announce the very best offer of the year, stop waiting. It's here right now at your Chicagoland Pontiac dealers. Get the incredibly low finance rate of 1.9% or up to $700 cash back depending on the model. So don't settle for an ordinary car, because now you can get 1.9% financing on Pontiac. But you can't afford to wait. Hurry to your Chicagoland, Northwestern Indiana Pontiac dealers.
Join in the excitement at the annual Bud Billiken Parade Saturday.
Hollywood.
The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Severs.